Hello everybody, welcome to my class. My name is Nimafara and today we're going to learn how we can talk about the past. How we can talk about the past. So first of all, why do we use past tense? The past tense is used a lot among English learners or even English native speakers. Without a past tense, we cannot have clear divisions of time periods. Actually, past tense can refer to even the present and future tense. Okay, so there are many ways we use past tense. We're gonna do it step by step. First, for single or repeated actions that happened in the past. Okay, so there are two ways we can use them: past simple or past continuous. Past continuous or past simple continuous, some people say. So the past simple tense shows that the action or the state that happened at an earlier time. Whether or not the action continued for a period of time or was repetitive is not important. What's important is that it began and ended in the past. It can be a definite time in past or it can be an indefinite time. For example, Jack got an F in math on October. Let me write it. Jack got an F in math. For example, on October. So here, this is an example of an action with a definite time. Okay, Jack got an F in math in October. For example, with a timeless one, Jack, again, was careless. Jack was careless. So this is an example describing a state of mind that it is timeless, means indefinite time. Or I don't know, like Jack hired a math tutor because he got an F in math, so he hired a math tutor. Or I don't know, Jack studied more. After that, he received or he got an F. But the past continuous shows the time span or repetition of past actions or events and the timing of one activity to another. For example, a background action is described by past continuous and the action interrupting it would be described by past simple. For example, when I was taking a shower, you called. Or Jack was, I don't know, was getting bad scores in math. Is an example of an ongoing action in the past. Or Daniel was behaving carelessly. Or I don't know, David was taking a math class with a tutor last week. Okay? So we use actually past continuous as continuous that shows a time span or repetition of past actions or events and the timing of one activity to another one. So next one actually is actions or states that were true for some time in the past. So let me write actions or states that were true for some time actually in the past. So for that, we use past simple again, past continuous. Past continuous. Okay? So for example, the reason we use that, we use past simple and past continuous with both of them to talk about something that was true for some time in the past. I was exercising every day, 3 times a day. Talking about the past. I stayed in home. At home, sorry. I stayed at home. I don't know, I stayed in the school. I stayed in the class. There are many ways we can talk about some say that were true, but generally it shows that they are no longer repeated. Okay? So the next one is storytelling. Storytelling and narration. So for that, use past simple or past continuous again. Past simple and or past continuous. When we can use the past simple or past continuous for stories or list of events. For example, Jack went to a Chinese restaurant, he called the waiter and ordered lunch. Actually, we're telling stories, okay? Or we are listing some events that happened in the past. Or the other day, I was waiting for a bus when I saw Peter. You can use for storytelling, narration, and things like that. Actions that happened before another action happened in the past. So let me come with down. Actions that happened before another action in the past. We use past, let me bring the pen. We use past perfect. So actually in this case we say A happened earlier than B. Something happened first, after that something else happened. With a while, there is a gap between these two. For example, I remember I had forgotten to call my friend. Okay? We use past perfect. The past perfect tends to talk about the order of two past events. So generally, we cannot use past perfect alone, just one sentence. For example, I ate the pizza. In this case, we cannot say I had eaten the pizza because there's no sign of the second action that happened in the past, so we can compare to see which one happened sooner. We have just only one sentence, I ate the pizza, and we cannot make it, I had eaten the pizza. But in some situations, we can make just one single sentence to past perfect, where we talk about unfulfillment events, unfulfillment sentences. Like, I wished, for example, he was hoping, the runner was hoping to win the gold. Or Robert, the runner, had been hoping to win the gold. When there are some unfulfillment events that in the past we wish to achieve that, but for some reasons we didn't, and now we cannot change it. For example, it's a competition. You are the swimmer. You can say, I had wished to win the gold. Okay, so in this case, we can use past perfect. Anyways, for example, in this case, so if in this case, for example, when the police arrived, the robber had escaped. First, the robber escaped. After a while, it can be 1 second, 1 year, 1 century, 1 decade, whatever. After a while, the police arrived. So, if there are two actions following each other, for the action closest to the present, we use simple past, and for the action that came before it, we use past perfect. Or Jack's new girlfriend wasn't exactly what he had expected. Okay, he had some expectation. After that, his girlfriend wasn't actually what he really had expected. Actions that happened before a specific time in the past. Again, for actions that happened before a specific time in the past, we use past perfect. We use the past perfect tense to talk about something that is started in the past and continued up to another action or time in the past again. Just remember, when the sequences of the action are obvious, do not use the past perfect tense. For example, on the 3rd of November, I had worked here for 5 months. On the 3rd of November, I had worked here for 5 months. The author died before he had finished his book. Okay? So before he had finished his book, he died. His death is closest to present than finishing his book. Now a statement that is started in the past and continued up to some time in the past. In this case, we can use both perfect and past perfect continuous. This usage is specific to state verbs, not action verbs. We use past perfect with verbs such as love, think, hate, realize, believe, to refer to a state that is started in the past and continued up to some time in the past. For example, David wanted to have a dog, or David had wanted a dog but received a hamster. So, let me write it. David had wanted a dog but received a hamster, for example. So in this case, we can see that his wish, his desire, his unwillingness was having a dog, but for many reasons, he received a hamster. So receiving a hamster for David happened at the end. It is very close to present, but his wish, his actually goal, his aim that he wanted a dog was happening before that, before receiving a hamster. So we should use David had wanted a dog but received a hamster. Or I had been happy until you started nagging. Okay? We use the past perfect continuous tense to talk about a longer action in the past before another action in the past. This means the longer action has happened sooner than the shorter action. For example, Sam was very tired, he had been running. So, let me change the color. Sam was very tired. Dot, period. He had been running. Okay, it's R. So Sam was very tired. He had been running. So we can understand that first he had been running, and after that he was tired because of he had been running. Okay, or he had been trying to open the door for 10 minutes when he found the keys. Here means before he found the keys. Prediction in past. Another way we can use the past tense is about predictions in the past. So we use going to in the past tense. So we use be going to in the past tense to refer to events that was expected or predicted to happen at some point in the past. He was going to study, but he fell asleep. Or he was going to get married, but he went to college. Okay? And plans and arrangements in the past, again, we use going to. We can use be going to in the past tense to talk about what we planned to be done, but mostly it didn't happen. So, It's much better to use was going to or were going to for plans and arrangements who have not happened, okay, who didn't happen, who haven't happened yet. So in the past, they didn't happen, so it's better to use for this reason. For example, I was going to Rome last summer, but my plans changed. It means I had a plan to go to Rome, but my plans changed. She was going to give her speech, but the earthquake happened. All right, that was the end of today's class. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. I hope it was useful and more videos coming soon. Thank you once again. Have a good day and take care of yourself.